What's up, y'all? Back with another video. Charles Oliveira, UFC main event, Rio de Janeiro this weekend. He is taking on Montez Gamrot. And guys, first of all, I just want to say the reception of Charles Oliveira in Rio has been unbelievable. I'm seeing videos circulating across social media of people storming the hotels that he's at. He's getting like a hero's welcome. And honestly, Charles Oliveira is a living legend. I think his story is like just amazing, and so many people have been inspired by his story. And like when I was first got on Charles Oliveira, I saw the Charles Oliveira rise, like from blonde hair Charles Oliveira. I didn't even know about his whole entire career in the UFC and how he used to really struggle and have losses and quitting fights to becoming this huge UFC lightweight champion to still being a relatively high ranked lightweight contender. And, he's looking to bounce back and get a win this weekend in Rio. Obviously, he came off that devastating knockout to Ilia Topuria, but I don't knock Charles Oliveira for getting knocked out. I mean, look at what Ilia Topuria has done to all of his last 5-6 opponents since he's been in the UFC. He has devastating power. He's knocking these dudes out cold. And, he slept Volk. He slept Max Holloway. He slept Charles Oliveira. So I don't think it's a knock on Charles Oliveira at all. The only fear I have is that maybe Charles Oliveira is coming back a little too quick. Obviously, you guys remember when Volkanovski was head kicked by Islam Makhachev, and, he came back very quickly against Ilia, and obviously got knocked out by Ilia. It takes a little bit of time for that shin to recover, for your brain to recover, and that's really my only fear with Charles Oliveira is, did he have enough time to fully recover and be fully ready to go for this fight? And I think that him fighting Rafael Fiziev, I felt like that would have been a tough fight. A striker who hits hard, a Muay Thai type fighter. Montez Gamrot, more of a grappler, wrestling style from American Top Team. I do think with Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu level being so high and, his willingness to go for submissions, I think that, this is definitely a winnable fight for him. But, it's all going to ultimately rely on his confidence level. And, does he feel like he's really ready to step back in there? Is he going to be scared that if he gets hit, he's going to get knocked out? I know that's something that a lot of fighters say that they deal with after a big knockout is, getting back in there and being concerned about getting knocked out again. And that can mess with your psyche. But if he goes out there like Alex Pereira and puts caution to the wind and just says, I'm going to make this my fight, I'm going to go win, I think Charles Oliveira is going to get his hand raised in Rio and jump on top of that cage, and it's going to be a great celebration. But he's back, man. The living legend, Charles Oliveira, is back. Main event, Rio. And I think this is a good fight for him. I think that this is a good opportunity for him still to main event. Charles Oliveira is still a superstar no matter what anyone says. And he's going to be a UFC Hall of Famer as well. And I'm excited for this fight, and I want to see him win. I want to see him get back in that win column. And I want to see him, continue to fight and continue to, hopefully, we'll see, make another run at the championship. But eventually, the door is going to close on all these guys. Obviously, Dustin Poirier just retired earlier this summer. And, Max Holloway only has maybe a handful of fights left. Charles Oliveira probably only has a handful of fights left. There's a lot of other up-and-coming lightweight contenders like Paddy Pimblett. Dan Hooker's kind of been around, but he's coming up. Armand Saruk, a lot of guys who are, waiting to get their chance now. So, but Charles is still here. He's still in the mix, and he's going to fight this weekend, and I'm excited for that fight. And you guys stay tuned for my reaction after the fight, and I'm back again tomorrow with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Bye.